All right, everyone, welcome back into another Fantasy Golf video. Going to be breaking down round 3 here of the Mexico Open. Basically going to be covering just the showdown picks. We'll recap round 1 and 2. But unfortunately, obviously with the time constraints with trying to get out fantasy golf coverage for you guys, we don't always have all the betting lines that we would like to have. And basically I have to do this video now as I'm recording it, or I can't really do it because it's just too late in the day. And so that's the issue with it. Obviously, all that stuff will be on the 9 to 5 PrizePicks Underdog cheat sheets for prop betting purposes. And then the matchup and head-to-head bets will then just be on those cheat sheets as well. Once those are updated, probably about an hour or so after this video is posted, maybe 2 hours. You know, I can never really trust when that's going to come out for sure from all those sports books. But yes, guys, it is sitting pretty well right now for us. A lot of 6-for-6 lineups. It was a weird cut sweat there where basically had Jake Knapp and Taylor Moore ended up missing the cut. It really would have significantly reduced the amount of 6-for-6 lineups, which basically would have locked in a profitable week. I'm pretty sure we're still there. Have a bunch of 6-for-6 lineups. The 9 to 5 data has been killing it thus far this week. And personally, a little solid pat on the back. My knowledge and kind of analysis of the 9 to 5 data was also pretty darn spot on this week as well. So it's said to be a pretty good week. Hopefully you guys are, having a good week there as well. Speaking of which, like in the core plays preview video that I gave you guys, all 4 of the core plays ended up making the cut. 4 of them are T11 or better right now. Obviously Ryan Gerard with being one of those, Kevin Roy being one of those, and then obviously Akshay being one of those. All right, well, as we're saying, pretty basically cheering against Eldrick here to suck. He was super annoying, guys, in round 2. Round 2, okay, he ruined the prop betting slip, okay? We went 2 for 3. Had Akshay beating him birdies or better. He did not have a regression day, and so he probably will have a regression day, like obviously not expected to play this well. But also, showdown-wise, I ended up having a profitable day on Underdog and DraftKings combined with having 0% of him. That is how good the 9 to 5 data was at nailing the rest of the slate. And so clearly that tells us that he clearly just had an outlier round. And the question is, what is he going to do throughout the weekend? How is he going to be able to handle maybe that stress of potentially, taking down his first win? I don't want to say it's a lock for him to get there. Obviously, Jaeger, he's right behind him at -12. You would expect him to come back to the field, especially compared to some of the other golfers that are there. Aaron Rai, Ben Griffin. There's a lot of really good golfers that should be able to catch him, and you don't really expect him to have a good round. But that's actually just take a peek at what the 9 to 5 data is telling us there with him. And so, yeah, let's take a peek at the regression ranks here, guys. And so we can actually just go ahead and get into the bottom of this. And I want to see where Algic ranks out. And actually not terrible. 39th in regression, so basically middle of the pack in terms of players that made or missed the cut. So essentially looking at him, he's someone that's probably just going to have maybe not a great round in round 3, but not a terrible round. He's not like going to be terrible. So some players are obviously expected to play better. Harry Hall really didn't get that much going in round 2. He had a few bogeys. He's someone that we can expect to get going. Maybe Taylor Moore gets going. Maybe Jake Knapp gets going. I'm not really seeing that and being like, oh, I need to get on any of those golfers. We'll actually take a peek here at the showdown ranks and see which golfers are popping up there. So yeah, Harry Hall naturally popping up there. Akshay popping up in there. Jeremy Paul popping up in there. And remember, guys, this is more priority ranks. How we should go about doing this, obviously, if you're making builds, Harry Hall, Jeremy Paul, Akshay, Hogard, both Hogards potentially, and Michael Kim maybe. So I don't hate that. Now, I do want to call out one thing here as well, guys. I am doing this video a little bit earlier than, having all the data points in there. And so with that, the projections and even the ranks might change slightly here once we get some more data coming in, just as an FYI. So if you guys see that as we're getting into 9 to 5 lineup builder, that's going to be why. So just know that. And so again, guys, just doing a general dry run here for you guys so you guys can kind of get the look at maybe what we're looking at lineup wise, and I kind of like it already naturally. So Hogard, he's someone that it's fine. Ricky Castillo is a player that basically the exact same play as Kevin Roy, just slightly worse, and I like the price tag for him. So obviously Kevin Roy, Ryan Gerard, both players are respected to play well. I'm actually shocked at their ownership, guys. To have a fantasy golf expert like me coming out and saying these guys are core plays and they're like 7% owned. Very much a head scratcher there, especially with the track record both this year and just like career-wise here. Very strange that those guys were not chalk. I was happy to see that. Made honestly the week a little bit easier there, and that's why we're looking at another good week. But definitely strange there, and I wonder if people are going to pick up on that, especially as I'm coming out with this video. Kind of worried that they could end up being a little bit chalky. The issue with maybe those players is, do we really expect them to have like a spike round? That's maybe the one concern. They're solid. They're all solid. They should be very solid for us. very, like what I'm seeing here with all these lineups here is they should all be pretty high floor lineups. Now, player exposure wise, it is kind of getting spread out. Obviously, naturally, guys, we're going to be capping this at about 30% max exposure, but for the most part, I don't mind this lineup process. I think we're pretty okay with that. And yeah, just we are getting a couple of underdog prop bets here, but again, this board will be a little bit more filled out probably again about an hour after I put up this video. Are we getting any position prop bets that we want to be targeting? I mean, typically speaking, the answer is always going to be no, because underdog, the way that they value golfers, especially with these positions, they're typically terrible when you compare them against like typical sports books, DraftKings, FanDuel. Now, I know if you're playing on Underdog, you most likely are not going to get access to one of those sites, but to me, just given the fact that they're not valuing them properly, I typically stay away from it. But are there any other, like, are there any potential bets that we can be on here? Like, I don't know, probably not. I'm probably okay with all the lines that we are getting here, so don't need to force it, guys. And so that's going to do it for this video, guys. Just a quick and easy video. Don't need to get into anything too much. Just highlighting the top plays for you guys. Wish I could give you guys some prop bets and some bets. Obviously, the 3-ball bets, we gave out one yesterday. Ended up hitting Justin Lauer there in his 3-ball group. That was good. Hopefully, we'll have that in about an hour. But again, can't really push that too much. So hope that was enough. I can't do too much here. I wish I could give you guys 3-ball bets, head-to-head bets. But again, got to get the video out without it being too late here. So apologies for that. But that's going to do it. Again, if you guys want access to any of the tools that you saw in this video, head on over to 9to5sports.com. Get access to them for $10 a month, guys. Best value out there. Obviously, having consistently good results already thus far this season. Looks like we're in for another really good week here. Hopefully, it's a big week. Hopefully, Aldrich ends up choking here throughout the stretch so we can have a massive week. That'd be pretty nice. All right, thanks for watching. Good luck. And as always, let's keep cashing.